Hi, I was on mute.
Congrats, Anne.
I need to change my Zach to Sherry. I'm using the computer.
Hi, Sherry.
Hey. How's everybody? How are you feeling after your shot, Ange?
Totally fine.
Good. Excellent.
But I mean, I'm expecting if I'm gonna feel anything, it'll probably be later or tomorrow. So
yeah.
But
nice.
Yeah, totally fine. Easy, super easy.
Good.
I'm feeling, you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling relieved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of all, for sure. Yeah. My friend said when he went, he's like, he couldn't believe the range of emotions he saw. Like he saw people crying, you know, one person fainted. He's like, they were having like 2-person tailgate parties in the parking lot. Like it was just like, he goes, and then when I left, FaceTime conversations in every language you can think of. I was like, that's crazy. I wouldn't have even thought of that, but I didn't see that so much, but the weather was kind of shitty. So I think people were just like booking it back to their cars, but yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
So efficient. Like my appointment was 9:35. I actually got my shot at 9:40.
Wow.
Like it was so fast.
I find they're good with the testing that way too. Like they're very on time, efficient. You're not waiting at all. Like, cause I had to have
I've heard that.
Or tests.
A friend of mine said the same thing. She said, yeah, the testing was really easy too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Oh, nice and easy. No, the joke is, you know, now I have the urge to go buy Microsoft products.
Do you?
No, not at all. That's the joke, right? Like a few people were like, hey, are you getting like better 5G reception on your phone? I'm like, no.
Oh god.
Hi, Jordan.
Hey guys.
Good.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Sweet. I think our last person was just Angela McMillan. But you guys, as usual, are just gonna need a pole for tonight, some type of stick, some sort. Yeah, I think you guys just know the drill at this point. Yeah, you know, those work.
We found a solution for our pull-ups. We can.
Pardon me, sorry?
We're gonna get a squat rack that has a pull-up bar like at the top of it.
Ooh, like a full like a power rack.
Pretty much, yeah. Like a power rack that also has a pull-up bar. But I was looking at the reviews, and the one guy was like, "I weigh 275 pounds, and when I'm doing pull-ups, the thing doesn't move." I'm like, "I'm gonna be good then."
Yeah, then you're good. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's a Rogue one, right? So they're like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those things are built solid. Yeah, it shouldn't go.
My only concern is that it's gonna have to be outside, so I'm like worried about getting stolen. But whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
it would be pretty hard to steal.
Yeah, and I think there's ways that you can drill it into the ground if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it depends on what
way,
neighborhood you're into, but
I'm not super worried about that. Like it's not.
I think
we're like we back onto a ravine, so it's not. I don't think it'll be super noticeable, like from the, you know, whatever. But
you should be fine. I just wouldn't leave like plates or barbells outside.
Oh no, for sure no.
Yeah,
but
like,
I think we'll probably. Yeah, just leave that and like bring everything else inside when we're done with it. But
nice. How much?
And then it's I think we'll say about 600.
Nice.
It depends. I think including tax and shipping, it's probably closer to 7. But
that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, like a rig was going to be like $2,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, oh, like this is a better. Plus, it's easier to like strip it down and like if we were to move, bring it with us, like no problem. And so yeah, I'm pretty excited. That's gonna be awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And we have space to do pull-ups because we have a 9-foot ceiling, so we should have enough clearance to be able to, even Jay and I, to be able to do it. So
nice.
Yay.
That'd be fun. At least you can get those back in I know you were working very hard for those, so you'll actually work back on them now.
Well, but my shoulder's still a little it's being stubborn. It's taking forever.
Yeah. They take a long time, unfortunately, for shoulders, knees, all the joints, right? So
it's better, but not great. So
yeah, that's the same as mine. It's like it's better, but
there's certain things.
I'm not doing butterflies on it. I'm not doing like toes bar where I'm swinging around too much. Strict, perfectly fine. Everything strict is great. As soon as I start swinging, I know what my issue is, but it's just I gotta wait to get back in the gym and actually be able to work on those. So otherwise,
so hopefully if we get some stuff, we'll be able to like actually, do some things.
All right, guys. So like I said, you just need a broomstick or a pole of some kind today. We're gonna start with that. Actually, we'll start with our arm swings and all that kind of stuff first. So we'll just start lateral arm swings. I like to think my palms kind of facing up and rotating as they come in front of me. And then I have my thumbs pointing backwards each time. Good, go forwards with the swings. I want you to control these ones, okay? So not using momentum, but instead of actually controlling the swing. Good, go backwards. Okay, we're gonna do our FRC on the one shoulder first. So we'll do with our left shoulder. So with the right hand, make a fist with your right hand, and then with your left hand, I want you to think this time as if you're using like 40% of your flexing. Okay, so like 40% effort into that arm. Okay, so from here, hand rotates out. Good, comes up super slow. All the way up here. Good, so it's a cross of it in front of us there. Good, from here, goes up and over, nice and slow. Take a look at your sternum, make sure your sternum's not raising too high. Good, hand's gonna rotate out. Stand back a little bit, and rotates out. Keeps rotating back. So my thumb should be pointing backwards, and my palm should be facing out towards my left. Good, from here, hand goes back nice and slow to where it can. From here, hand starts rotating back around. Pay attention at your sternum, make sure it's not raising too high. Good, palm starts racing upwards, hand comes across the body, and back down. Good, shake out that arm, and then switch hands here. Good, here we go. Hand rotates out. Palm comes towards the ceiling. Slowing up. Good. Raise it on up. Body. Good. Hand rotates out as it comes back behind us. Thumb should be pointing back behind us with our palm facing our right side. Good. From here, hand goes back where we can. Comes back around. As high as you can get it. Pay attention to your sternum, make sure it's not rising here. Palm comes across the body and back down. Good, so that's full range, right? So there's all these different types of rotation, and there's rotation in each of the planes there, okay? And we're gonna go into our, we'll do both of these ones at the same time here. So we're gonna go for 5 external and internal rotations, okay? So internal is this way, and external is going back as far as you can here, okay? So when you're going back, what I want you to notice here is I don't want your chest to rise up too high. So don't let that sternum rise up too high. I'm a terrible example for this because I have terrible external mobility right now, okay? So I don't do a lot of chest days, and that's all I've been doing is chest days and leg days. So don't do a ton of those because otherwise you're gonna be super tight all around here, okay? So 5 total. So go back slightly and then come forward, back up. So you're going for 5 total here. Good, once you've done that, you can bring the hands in a little bit and do the same thing. Obviously at different ranges, the hands are only gonna go so far. Good. Last one, you're gonna have to do single arm each. It's just right in front of you. Cool. Next one there we're gonna do is we're gonna come down on the ground. We're gonna go into our sleeper stretch. So from here, lying onto our side, elbow is gonna be out in front of us, so perpendicular to our body. Okay, and then you're gonna have your thumb out or your thumb pointing towards you here. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is your hand's gonna go down, but as it's going down, I want you to reach your thumb towards your belly button. Okay, so it's actually gonna come in like towards yourself here. Okay, as it's coming down, okay, we're gonna get it to where we can, and then we're gonna take our top hand, we're gonna place it on top, we're gonna press down on that, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I want you to push up into that hand, pushing up harder and harder and harder. 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to draw that hand towards the ground. So you're going to release that top hand. You're going to draw that hand towards the ground as much as possible. Good, so it's just going on its own there. And you should notice a little bit of improvement there. Okay, good. Take that out. Go to our other side. So that's the basic of the sleeper stretch, where you're basically holding it down with the one hand, and then you're flexing it back upwards. So you're pressing up towards the sky. And then when you release that top hand, it's all on your own for pressing it down. Okay. Here we go. Bring that hand down. Nine, 10. Start pushing up into the top hand. 8, 9, 10, and then release the top hand, and then on your own, bring that hand towards the ground. Good. Release those. Good. Next one we're gonna do, we're gonna come close here. We're gonna do our wrists. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get better angle. I'm gonna kind of like squat to do this. Okay, so elbow is gonna be tucked by our side. Okay, so my elbow clearly does not go into my side that well, but get it into where you can there. And then with your palm, what you're gonna do is hand's gonna flex. Actually, first off, I want you to think on your forearm. I want you to think that you're holding a shot of tequila. Okay, so I don't want that forearm to be like rotating or flopping around. Okay, so the entire movement comes from the wrist, not from the forearm. Okay, so the forearm stays exactly where it is. From here, hand is going to flex up. Good, so not the fingers, but at the hand. Good, hand's going to go out. So this one's going towards us. Pay attention that your tequila shot, make sure it's not falling. Good, hand goes down. Trying to get a better angle. Good, hand rotates to the side. Good, back up, and all the way back up. Good, we're gonna go through that back the other way now, so rotate back out, back down, back to the side, all the way back up, and back to center. Okay, so you're just moving at the wrist, not at the forearm, okay? I'm gonna do this one sitting because it's a little bit harder for me to squat like that right now. Good, okay, so the next one, hands by our side here. Okay, so forearm again, stay still. I'm gonna test myself here, and you're gonna watch me fail because this is what it's all about, right? So I'm gonna put a remote here, okay? And I don't think this one, I'm gonna put it this way because the remote's round, so it's not gonna work that well like that. But yeah, it's gonna sit like this, okay? So hands flat here to start. Wrist goes up, wrist comes inwards, wrist goes back down as far as we can get it to, and I already dropped it. So you can tell that my wrist is moving around a lot there, right? Good, then the wrist is gonna go up to the side, wrist comes back up, and I dropped it again, right? So you can see how often your wrist is, or your forearm's moving around there, okay? Good, so now we're at the top, hand's gonna go back out to the side, back down, back across, back up, back to center. Okay, so all that movement's coming from the wrist. It's going to help develop stronger wrists in general. Okay. I know it's something that a lot of us struggle with. And a lot of the times what we end up doing is we wrap our wrists up for any type of barbell movement. But what happens is we're not actually developing our wrist strength. So we need to do it outside the gym, unfortunately. And that's why you guys are here, obviously. So we do all these things outside the gym so that way we can build stronger wrists. So that way when we do hold it into front rack, it's not sitting on the wrist joint as much. Okay. Cool. Next part we're going to do is grab our PVC pipe broomstick. Like I said, I highly doubt that any of you guys actually have a PVC pipe at home because that'd be kind of random. Unless Veronica does. What does Veronica have? A wrapping tube. Nice, nice. I like it. I like it. Is that a hockey stick? No, it's a broomstick. I think most of us use broomsticks. All right. First one we're going to go through is 10 pass-throughs to start. And for these pass-throughs, I want you to reach up as high as possible and keep reaching that bar away from you the whole time. Okay, once you've done those, you're going to go for 5 figure eights per side. So start with the left hand, bring it around. Go the other way. Good, once you've done that, pull's going to start on your left side here. You're going to have your thumb, it's going to be pointing back behind you. Okay, so your hand's upside down. Pull's on the outside of your arm, like so. Good, grab that pull in front of you. Good, from here, lifting up on that pull, so we're getting an external rotation of our shoulder. So, and the pull is this, yeah, there you go, good. Yeah, and then grab in front of you with that pull. Yep, there you go, good. And you're just lifting up, you're getting an external rotation there. And what you could do at the same time, it's going to be kind of hard to demo this over screen, but I'm thinking of actually bringing my elbow that's up across my body. So I'm thinking of keeping my shoulders square and then bring that elbow across my body. And you might feel a little bit more of a stretch through the lat. Okay, it's a little hard to demo that, but I'm trying not to move this shoulder too much. Good, switch sides. Good, think outside of your hand, Veronica. So hand's gonna go upside down. Hold on. So it looks like this. Hands going back behind you. Yeah. Good, and it goes underneath. Yeah, there you go. Good, release that. Gonna turn some butter. So you're gonna place that stick onto the ground. We're not actually gonna turn butter. Place the stick on the ground, and then we're going to, well, don't do it on a hardwood because it'll obviously move around. Now we're just gonna lean down into that stretch. You should also feel this through your lats, your thoracic, as well as probably your hamstrings a little bit. Good, release that for a second. We're gonna go back into it in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good, and release. Good. Next one we're gonna do, you can just put that off to the side for now. So what we're gonna do is get our hips going here. So we're gonna sit in our 90s. Okay, so one leg is 90 back and one leg is 90 in front of us. Okay, we're thinking of sitting nice and tall, thinking of keeping our hips squared. Okay, and then from here, we're going to hold in each spot for about 3 to 5 seconds. And then we're going to very, very slowly with our hands in front of us. Okay, so not trying to put our hands on the ground or anything. Our hands kind of in front of us. I just kind of clasp them to hold them together. We're going to rotate to the other side. Good, hold that for 3 to 5 seconds. Good, rotate back. Trying to keep your feet planted with where they are. Good, go back to the other side. Back to the other side. Switch back over. Switch back over. Last one on this side. Good, and last rotation back. Good, all right. Next one, everybody's least favorite here, but we're going to squat. Okay, so for my friends, you're just going to be squatting to where you can. Okay, so this doesn't need to be an ass to grass. If you want to put something behind you, like a box or a couch or something like that, to kind of hover to, we're basically going to be holding for about 10 to 15 seconds in the squat. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay, so you're just going to try to hover over something. If you can't squat all the way down, for my friends that can squat all the way down, we're going to squat all the way down. Okay, so go through all of our checkpoints. Let me just get my stopwatch going here. Okay, so all of my checkpoints. Good. Feet really kind of should be wherever you feel comfortable there. Okay, if that's your toes like somewhat out, that's fine. If your toes are straight, that's somewhat fine. I prefer not for them to be like super, super duck feet. Okay, so usually like a 10 to 15 degree is a nice comfortable for most people. Okay, for all of our squatting, and this is something that we're trying to reiterate as coaches quite a bit now, is squeezing the butt and then thinking of turning our femurs or our knees outwards. Okay, so when you do that, you should be able to feel your butt squeeze even more. Okay, once you're in that position, you have your hands up in front of you. Okay, it's going to help with an air squat as opposed to your hands being close. Okay, so they're out in front of you here. Okay, here we go. We're going to squat down to where you can, thinking tall chest. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand. Good, shake out your legs. You need to get a couple ankle rotations in, might help open them up. It's kind of hard to do an ankle rotation if you're not wearing shoes though. Kind of just jams the toes around. All right, same checklist here. Feet are in the ground. Toes are splayed this time. This is the next one for you guys, okay? So think of splaying your toes. Okay, from here, femurs are turned out, butt is turned on, hands are out in front of us. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and squat. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand. Good. Got one more there. Getting the hips nice and open here. Here we go. Last one. Feet are in that comfortable spot. Feet are screwed in. Toes are splayed. Butt is squeezed. Hands are out. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and squat. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand. Good, guys. Cool. So that's just something that we like to work on, as always, our squat mechanics. Something that you can kind of practice and kind of work towards is getting towards a 5-minute accumulation of a squat. Okay, that's very difficult for myself. That if you don't have like the greatest ankle mobility, that can start feeling like you just ran for the first 20 minutes and you get all the shin splints, right? So you kind of feel that if you're sitting in that squat quite a bit. One thing that I find helps for getting better at that is if you have a pair of lifters, wear those. Okay, that'll just practice helping to get deep into the squat, just because it raises your foot off about an inch, the heels off an inch. Or if you have like a 2x4 or something like that, put those under your heels as well, and that'll allow you to get a little bit deeper, right? Hell, if you have high heels, you can wear high heels. I don't know how comfortable that is for your toes, but I don't know. I just remember being at the bars all the time, and girls that wear heels can squat all the way down to the ground, and I'm always like, okay, good for you. So whatever you guys feel comfortable in, but it's a good thing to help open up the hips. Okay. Gonna do some stretching to end off our session here. So to start today, actually, sorry, I meant to do thoracic. Don't let me forget the thoracic spine today. Let me go through our thoracic stuff here. So in our tabletop to start. Good, we're gonna go for 10 total of cat and cow, so 5 on each. So going for a cat to start, holding for 3 seconds. Good, back down to cow. Back up. Back down. Back up. Down. Back up. Down. Up. And finally down. Good. From here, you're going to step your feet back to a down dog. Stretch those calves. Good. You're going to step your right foot forward to the outside of both hands. Left knee can drop. Then you're going to take your right hand, and your right hand's going to rotate up towards the ceiling. Nice straight arm. Looking up at the ceiling as well. Good. Bring it back down. Good. Bring it back up. Good. Back down. Finally back up. And back down. Good. You're going to step that foot back into a down dog. Step the left foot forward. Right knee can drop. This time you're doing it with your left hand. Left hand's going to rotate up. And back down. Back up. Back down. Back up. And back down. Good, guys. You're going to come sitting onto your boot. Get into our nice groin stretch here, working on those knees. I'm seeing most of you are actually slowly they're getting further down. All right, from here, sit nice and tall, leaning forward. Good, and release. This time you're gonna kick your feet out in front of you. If you want to grab like a pillow or a ball or some type of thing, feel free here. Good, and then from here, we're gonna either walk our hands, so you're gonna still think tall back, so not just rounding at the back, but tall back still. Then walking the hands and leaning forward. You should feel that stretch thoroughly through your hamstrings and your groin area, your adductors. I have a cousin who, when I was younger, and she was like gymnastics galore, right? Like super competitive. And you guys obviously know gymnasts how like they're insanely flexible. And I remember she would get into like a full split, and right now I'm at like 90 degrees, but she'd be in a full split and she could lie straight down. And I'm just like, I don't know, like not even elbows. Like I can, if I do elbows, like that's forcing it hard. But like it always mind boggles me, like kids at that age, how crazy they are at being flexible. Good. Slowly walk the hands back. Good. There you go. Both feet in front of us this time. Now, for me, how I got better at this stretch, what I would usually do is I would take, you know, those like hip bands, ones that you wear around here kind of thing, or knee bands, ankle bands, whatever you want to call them. I would take those, and I just have like a super thin, cheap rubber one though, like super cheap. Not like the cloth ones. The cloth ones are super strong. But I would take like a cheap one. You can do this with rope, a shoelace, anything, and I would actually tie it around my feet. Okay, and it would keep my feet from flopping up to the side. That way you're actually getting the stretch through the hamstrings. Okay, so for this one though, we're just gonna hold our feet up as much as possible. Good, we're gonna sit nice and tall, and then we're gonna come forward. We're gonna try and grab onto our feet if we can. If not, that's totally okay. Just reaching as far forward as we can here. For one of my PTs, she's doing her police applications, and this is still one of the requirement stretches. I'm like, how outdated is this thing? Like, I still don't know why. And same for like Canfit Pro insurance testing, for people to get like their cheaper rates or whatever, or get like deductions stuff. This is one of the stretches that like they count for it. And I'm like, I don't understand how, like, yes, it's a flexibility test, but like, out of all the stretches in the world, why is it only that one? For her police thing, like push-ups is the other one. I'm like, that doesn't really tell you that much. There's stamina and there's all these other things built into that, but like, there's so many other tests out there that you think for a police force, they would be probably doing a little bit more, but they still stick to the same old school ones, but good for them. All right, guys. Next one here. I had it in my head and I just lost it. Oh, yeah. We're going to go for the single leg saddle. So one foot's out to the side. One foot's in front. We're going to lean back into that stretch. If you want to stay on your hands, that's fine. If you want to come down to your elbows, that's fine too. That's where I'm hanging out today. And some days you'll see me go down to the ground, but not today. It's always on however flexible you are in that day. And I will admit, and I always preach to you guys to drink lots of water, I will admit I've probably only had about a liter of water today, so not doing great on the water front today. Good, go ahead and come on up. Switch legs. And then lean on back. Good, and come on up out of that one. Good, you're just gonna lie on back down. We're gonna end with our rebound. Just getting that relaxation in before bedtime. So you're just lying down onto your back. Good, your eyes can stay shut here. Palms are nice and relaxed. I want you to relax all your muscles, relaxing everything through your legs as your legs and your hands sink deeper and deeper into the ground. Your jaw relaxes, releasing your tongue, releasing everything. Think about just melting right into the space you're in. Pay attention to the sounds or the silence of the room. Pay attention to your heartbeat. Be aware of your breathing right now, nice and relaxed. As you lie there, I want you to think about one thing that you're grateful that happened today. Just one thing. Ever so slowly, start bringing life back into your fingers, toes, your ankles, your wrists, all the way up through your legs, your elbows. And when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest. And you're just going to hug them and then make some small circles, massage your internal organs. Then when you're ready, you can come on up. Feel free to come off mute. As always, nice little hangout here.
Thanks, Jordan.
No problem. No problem, guys. So obviously there is things that we can work on in this class. And I know for most of us, it's typically the squatting, and that's okay. Those are all things that I've personally, since I started working with you guys, not just in like mobility, but in classes and stuff, I've seen improvements, whether you guys seem to think so or not, but I've definitely seen improvements, whether that's mobility, whether that's range of motion, whether that's like actual functionality of how you're moving. Coaches do see it. Okay, so don't think like, oh, I'm progressing super slowly always, like I'm not really getting anything. Problem is we don't see ourselves in a day-to-day life, right? Like we don't notice our own changes typically. It's not until someone else comes up to you and goes, holy crap, like what did you do, right? So remind yourself of that you are making small changes, and by putting in the work each day, you are getting better, that much better each day. So kudos to all of you guys for always showing up. I thoroughly enjoy it. So I'm glad that you guys are here. You guys make my day. So On days where, like today, where I'm the only coach that has a class, like there was nothing happening today. Like no one's had, or actually I lied. Maria has her Ramadan classes tonight. But yeah, for the most part, I don't even have like virtual PTs that I'm doing right now. So like it's pretty silent on our end. So hopefully we'll be back soon. Don't know when, no one knows when. But stay healthy. You guys are all doing what you can. I'm super stoked that a lot of you have your shots and are getting your shots now. So which is awesome. And I'll see you guys all very, very soon.
Thanks, Jordan.
No problem, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jordan. Good night.
Night.